Hi, my name is Jeff Rose. I am a professor in Parks, Recreation, and Tourism at the University of Utah. We're within the College of Health. In this last semester, I had an opportunity to teach a class called Trends and Issues in Sports Management. And I want to spend a little bit of time, along with Ariel Clark-Prophet, talking about that class and one of the projects that we did on sports and sustainability. The title of the class was Trends and Issues in Sports Management. And really the fundamental aspect of the class, at least traditionally, has been to talk about sports at all these different levels and what it has to do with social conditions, societal trends, things like that. And so the typical way we start out this class is we talk about issues of leisure and recreation, and then we move into sports and some of the benefits and some of the drawbacks that sports have with society. And so the fundamental thesis of the entire course throughout this past semester and even previous semesters was that sports are a reflection of society, and that there are things that are happening, there are trends that are happening within sports that are indicative of things that are going on in society at large. And so in this way, we can talk about sports as a microcosm of society, sports as a harbinger of things that are on their way or things that are unfolding, and that sports are a place, sports are a geographical setting and a social setting where many of our societal concerns play out in lots of different ways. And so the whole fundamental thing behind this course is that the class engages deeply with issues of socio-political importance, and that these issues and these concerns are expressed through sports at varying different levels. And so we work through a couple of different key constructs that I want to highlight today. One of which is that sports, or the way that we think about sports, is through this participation pyramid. And this looks like recreational, highly participatory sports at the bottom of the pyramid, more performance-based sports kind of in the middle of the pyramid, and then an elite level sports at the top of the pyramid. And so with this pyramid, we see increases in specialization, athlete commitment, the skills required, the social prestige attached to it, and at least previously a lot of the economic considerations that are attached to it, although the economics are starting to shift to the participatory sports just as much as they are to the elite sports. So we have this construct of sports and this participation pyramid on one hand, and then on the other hand, we have trends in society, framed as the dominant socio-political concerns that we have in our lives today. Traditionally, we've looked at this in terms of race, class, and gender, and the kind of social structures that are attached to that. That being said, in previous editions of this class, we've expanded that beyond just talking about race, class, and gender into some of the really kind of trenchant, dominant forms of socio-political organization that we see in our lives. And so some of the topics that we've focused on in the past, PEDs, corruption, socioeconomic equity, international relations, concussions, youth development, professionalization, violence, and many more. These are the kinds of topics that we've traditionally talked about in a class on trends and issues in sports management. One of the things that we've seen in recent years is that the trends and issues that are dominant in society, one of the big ones is sustainability. And sustainability here is, a lot of times we think of sustainability as strictly environmental sustainability, or, making sure we have enough recycle bins or something like that. We've really tried to expand that notion of sustainability in this class and talk about sustainability in terms of this three-legged stool that is often referenced. So there's environmental sustainability, so making sure that we don't undermine our own ecological preconditions of existence. But then we also expand that into social sustainability, making sure that we have an equitable social world where lots of voices are heard, lots of people are participating in these processes, that we have a social system that, again, doesn't undermine its own preconditions of existence. And then economic sustainability. So looking at different aspects of life and saying, hey, is this thing sustainable economically? Because for better or for worse, what we found is that if things are not economically sustainable, then we won't have them moving on into the future. And so this notion of sustainability, right, with the economic, the social, and the environmental aspects of it, we tried really hard to map this on to sports with this participation pyramid. So we have the large recreational participation, the performance-based, maybe not quite as many folks, and then we have that elite level of really high elite performance, but maybe not so many folks participating in it. So combined with all that, what we have is the fundamental aspects of a class that looks at sports and sustainability, and that's really where this project is developed from, and where we'd like to share some of the insights from the project that we undertook this last semester.